after we get done if you want, Jim.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, people? Welcome to this live from By the Hood. This is Jimmy, your host, as always. This is another one of our Friday episodes. We want to invite you in to, share along with us. Hey, Corey, man, you might have to cut that down a little bit more, brother. You sounding crazy down there. But
Yep.
this is our way of kicking it with the community, engaging in conversations, and we have a special guest with us on this Friday live right now. We have the Finance Rebel. Our brother Camari Ellis is in the building. Camari, how are you, sir?
What up? What up? What up, people? How y'all doing?
Listen, man, first of all, to you brothers, man, happy Juneteenth. If that's something that you're celebrating. If you're not celebrating, that's cool too. We can engage
to you.
We can engage in that conversation and figure out why you do or you do not celebrate. But this episode is about Juneteenth and Black wealth and whether those two things actually can work together, do work together. We see a lot of things going on in terms of pandering. As I like to say, Panda Express.
Panda Express.
it's going crazy right now. But let me ask you guys to start off with this though, man. Like, are you celebrating Juneteenth, or have you always celebrated Juneteenth?
You want me to? No. I don't celebrate it. Not for any reason. I don't celebrate anything except for when I will celebrate with people if they accomplish some things or whatever, or if they have a birthday party or something. But I don't celebrate no holidays, so it's not specific to Juneteenth.
Okay, so it's not really anything to do with Juneteenth. Like, Kamari, for you, what does Juneteenth mean to you? Have you always celebrated, or what does it mean to you?
I haven't always celebrated. I feel some kind of way about Juneteenth, but I do believe fervently in respecting the ancestors and honoring the ancestors. So it gets a nod from me for that reason. But I have mixed feelings about it. But when you say celebrate, right? I mean, I don't do any parties. I'm not cooking out. My son is though. Him and his buddies are cooking out and they're celebrating for Juneteenth. So I guess it's a reason to celebrate.
Okay. So it's a reason to celebrate. Now, I heard what you said though. You said you don't throw any parties or anything, but that doesn't mean you don't do anything. Because when we were coming on, I heard you say something about like your thing is buying from Black businesses on Juneteenth, right? I mean, that's something you do anyway.
Yeah, right. So I was being festive, right? I was like, I'm buying Black today because it's Juneteenth. But I buy Black all the time anyway. I try to buy Black every day. That should be all our mission: buy Black every day, or as much as
absolutely.
You can.
I mean, that should be everybody's initiative. But did you like make it a point? And it's funny though, because you know how people get caught up in the whole Christmas hype, right? They say I don't celebrate, ended up doing something because you get caught up in the hype. But I saw a lot of support Black business going around this Juneteenth. So I was just asking, like, is it something that you like? Did it affect you to the point where you said, "Let me go buy something"?
No, I mean my purchases actually happened naturally, right? So I was telling you, we're all on the Black Wealth Project together, partnered up on that. And we got our whole health journey, and we always do our check-in. So my man Dave Miller, who's damn good bodies in Philly, I was over in that complex today. I saw he was open, and he's been selling kettlebells and dumbbells. So I said, you know what? Let me go get my kettlebells now because I've been meaning to get them, and I'm down here. It was a coincidence, though. Like, so I didn't go down because it was Juneteenth. I was down there to see somebody else. He was open. So I said, let me support the brother because, I'm trying to get this health right so we can get this wealth right.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this, right? In terms of what's going on with Juneteenth, and depending upon what timeline you look down, some people are saying that it's been co-opted, that it's just being exploited. What is your opinion on what you're seeing with Juneteenth? Corey, I'll start with you because I see you got your hand up. You got something to say about that?
I mean,
Corey,
it is co-opted. Yeah, man, it's been co-opted, but the thing I like about it, for a lot of people is that they got a day off, right? And because we always talk about time, anytime you can get some time, some paid time off, that's love. You know what I mean? If you're not getting paid for that time off, even though you're not getting paid for it, you got time to do what you need to do or what you want to do. It's not a federal holiday. Nothing else is closed except for your job or whatever that is. So it's an extra day to get some things done. So for those people, I appreciate that for them. You know what I mean? But as far as with as like you call it, the Panda Express and being pandered to by these companies, that should aggravate me a little bit. But that's just me. I
All
got
right, so
I get a level of aggravation with that because it's hollow and it's symbolic, and I hate hollow symbolic gestures. Shit drive me
yeah.
crazy.
What about the way that the people have been, expressing their either joy, or some people have been, just angered. I got a lot of angry people on my timeline. Like, you ain't never did this before. Like, what do you think about the people's reaction to what's going on?
For those people who are expressing joy, I would just say read. You know what I mean? Like good, you know, there's nothing wrong with expressing that joy. Just know that we not free. You know what I mean? Like they, we not free. So it's not. I'm not gonna say like Kamari said. I'm not gonna say our ancestors didn't have any reason to celebrate, but I mean just some light reading and you'll understand why we not free. So
Hmm.
I understand why people want to celebrate and they want to honor the ancestors, and so I won't poop on nobody's you know celebrations. But as far as being
Understand
free,
what's going on.
yeah,
How
like
about you? How about you, Kamar? How do you feel about the way that Juneteenth is being celebrated by a lot of us on both sides? Some people are being extremely excited. I see more posters shared than I think I've ever seen. But I see a lot of people who are agitated by the way that we're celebrating Juneteenth this year. What is your opinion on this?
Listen, you know what they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So listen, while we got this wave, let's ride this wave, and let's make Kwanzaa a national holiday as well, and
yeah, right.
actually study
That's
the
That's a good
study
point.
the So listen, you could always make lemonade with lemons, right? And I do believe folks are pandering, but sometimes we got to take that and make it better, because at the end of the day, my mentor said to me, we're not really fighting a war of land or geographical locations. The war is really cultural and mental and emotional, right? And everything else that goes into it. But everything they do, they try to co-opt us into their way of thinking, of their way of
Hmm.
speaking, of their way of dressing, right? Of their way of praying. So why not start to reclaim some of that now?
Great point. Great point.
I'm all for it.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. What you said about like cultural. And for those watching, I see we got people watching on YouTube as well as Facebook. Please hit the like button, share this, and also leave your comments, questions, comments about investing, about Juneteenth, about anything. Just feel free to ask any sort of investment advice or anything you're looking for. We got that as well. So you are the financial rebel. We're by the hood. We talk about black wealth as it relates to community empowerment. With this whole wave of corporate pandering, as we call it, and celebration of Juneteenth, is there any way for us to leverage that in terms of our agenda with building black wealth? Right? Who wants to tackle that first? I'll go back to you, Corey. Is there any way to leverage that or build on this momentum, as Kamari says, with this people embracing our culture? Is there any way for us to use that to work with each other? So, give me your opinion on that, Corey.
We can always there's always ways to leverage everything, right? So I see a lot of buy black movements starting to happen, and people you know spamming each other's inboxes with a bunch of stuff. I hope people are capitalizing on that, and I hope black people are capitalizing on it. But the thing that to really capitalize on it is that you know I wrote a post about combined time. If we're gonna combine money, we have to also combine time. You know what I mean? So the way to capitalize on it is for us to come together and do bigger projects together. So let's do something around Juneteenth where we do a project with 50, 100, 1,000 people or whatever. Let's come together. Let's not turn it into they turn MLK Day into a day of service. Man, I don't know nothing about that, man. Like, let's not turn it into that. You know what I mean? Let's not let the momentum shift that way. where they
So
turned it.
that sounds like more organizing, right? So that means that now we see how it's embraced right now. We should start working on what kind of projects or things we can do combine. Next time, this next go around, man. Shout out to brother Jake Johnson who chimed in and said, "What's good? What's up, Jay? How you?
What's going on, bro? That's
Appreciate you
our
chiming
partner
in,
at
Jay.
DYO
Yeah,
for Hood University.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So Camari, what do you think about that in terms of black wealth? Does this play up? Like, is there any way we can leverage what's going on, in corporate America, as well as the way Juneteenth is being celebrated now, to kind of help our people and help the movement? Is there any way for us to do that? What do you think about that?
I mean, there's always an opportunity to do something, but I'm not really big on waiting for holidays. I feel like I'm sounding like Corey over here, but because I'm just not a big celebrator of stuff, right? I believe in celebrating the work. We got work to do. So anytime we can come together and do the work and do the good work and the right work, I'm all for it. But listen, I mean, I think we're talking about capitalizing off the corporate stuff. Yeah, but we got to make sure our business is right. We got to make sure our numbers are right. We got to make sure we understand our numbers to even begin to play that corporate game. Jimmy, I think you saw the piece I did earlier this week about 9 ways white people or dear white people.
Yeah, I did see that.
Community. I mean, so there's a wave there, and I think we can start tapping into that. We saw what Netflix, the CEO of Netflix did, 40 million more out, 40 million to Spelman, 40 million to UNCF. So I think that's good. I just think we got to be prepared or be prepared when things like that come about. And I'm not really sure how many of us are really ready and prepared for, opportunities like that.
So is that means it's incumbent upon us to kind of make sure people are in positions to take advantage of that. A couple more comments, people checking in. Hey Tara, how are you? How are you doing, Queen?
Hi, Tara.
Okay, we also got Don Johnson.
What up, Don?
Don, what's up, bro? How you? Yo, and salute to you, Don, too, because we actually talked to the brother Xavier that you chimed in and gave us a comment on Twitter. It was, and we made that happen. So salute to you, Don, for that. Also, we got the brother Rob chiming in. Rob, what's up, bro? How you?
Yeah.
I hope everything's good with you over there. Yeah. So interesting, man. Interesting. So
hold up, before we move off, Rob owns a black-owned business called Brew and Feed. Robert,
where's he at?
Yeah,
He's at, Robert.
Brew and Feed.
He's in Ohio.
He's in Ohio.
He makes his own sauces. Yeah,
he makes his own sauces. He makes his own spices, and he brews his own beer.
Yo, throw the link in the comments. Throw the link in the comments, Robert.
Yeah, Rob, if you still up there, throw your link in the comment. I want to put it up there so we can highlight what you got going on. Anybody out there watching has a black-owned business, make sure you put that in the comments so we can share that, because this will be on replay forever and ever. So we want to make sure we try to send business your way, because we want to promote black business. So Rob, make sure you put that put that into the comments, man. But Rob, we want to definitely support you.
I want to say this though, man. I think we gotta adopt the mindset of you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And a lot of our businesses, I mean, a lot of us are still in infancy, right? So I ain't trying to diss nobody or put nobody down. But as we're building and as we're growing, we got to have the mindset of we're going to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And I think when times like this come about, you can capitalize on it. And then hopefully you have the mindset of capitalizing on it and then coming back to the community and figuring out different ways of partnering, like Corey was talking about, or doing joint ventures, or just overall support, right? There's so many ways that we can be helpful. I know people get tired of me talking about the Jews, but when you look at their community, they understand the culture, their culture, and don't get me started on that, because a lot of that is fables, but to the point. Yeah, I ain't going there. I ain't going there.
I just want to say Jewish Phenomenon is an amazing book. I just want to put that out there.
But point being, like, they figure out ways to get it popping. They figure out ways to make sure the money gets collected in their community. And all of
What's
us
up, Jose?
might
How
not
you?
be on that type time, but we can get on that type time.
Absolutely,
easily.
and there's enough of us that right now. There's enough of us right now that we don't need everybody. Because what happens is you'll get mass adoption once you have the right people and a certain number of people. Is this a Cleveland-based
Right.
organization? No, no. We're actually locally from Philly, but we're all over at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
And
think he was talking
Jose
about
also.
Robert.
Yeah,
Oh,
Robert,
Robert is in.
Robert. Yeah, he's in Ohio. I don't know if he's in Cleveland though.
Yeah, yeah. And Jose wants to put this out there as a graphic designer. Conscious_T's
Conscious.
is the IG. Yeah, so
Shout
I'll
out
put
to
that out
Jose.
there so people watching. Yeah, shout out to Jose. So we got a question right here about starting businesses right now. Right. So how do we find out about opportunities for starting businesses right now? So anyone of you want to handle that, Kamari or Corey, about starting a business right now? Only thing I'll say is don't wait. Like start it right
Yeah.
now. If you have the resources, if you have the plan, don't wait. It's similar to what Kamari said a couple minutes ago. Make a move right now. But Kamari, you want to handle this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, they're asking about finding opportunities. I would say the opportunity is what is your God-given talent or ability? Again, what is your God-given talent or ability? And the reason I say that is because nobody will ever be able to outdo you in that field. So when you're in alignment and you're doing what you're meant to do, you'll always be the best in world class. So, I always tell people when people ask me about business, because I'm a financial strategist and a tax advisor, I always say try to figure out what you're great at, because in
Okay.
that way you can always compete against the biggest corporations or the smallest of them. It won't matter.
Okay.
You want to say something, Corey?
I'm going to differ a little bit in that, and I would say do what you're great at, so that you can do what you love, right? So, and maybe they're in alignment. So, hey, no, because a lot of times those things aren't in alignment. I'm very good at a lot of things that I don't love. So, to make money, like I don't love the stock market, but I'm very, very good at doing it. I would love to be a basketball player or a football player or whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm way better
God
at
didn't
making money
bless
in
you
this.
with height.
No, God didn't bless me with
Right.
the common sense to fill out paperwork 20 years ago, 25 years ago when I graduated high school. But that's neither here nor there. But we are saying the same thing, but there's a difference between what you said and what I said. And the difference is do what you're great at so that you can do what you love. Because what you love and what you're great at may not be the same thing.
Interesting. All right.
I think that's semantical. But yeah, I like to debate, so I'll pull back.
No, I like to hear this. That's a good. First of all, Fallon, thank you for the question. It's an excellent question. I would just say that there's opportunities all over the place right now, and there's people throwing money at people for businesses specifically, like whether we want to call it pandering or not. People are looking to support you. So also shoot us an inbox and let us know what you're thinking about doing. We'll highlight you and see what you got going on, because we want to help us any way we can, help you any way we can as well. And Brew and Feed actually chimed in from his corporate account, Brew and Feed. He has a house in Cleveland. He's up there right now. So what's this other comment here? I guess it's asking about a court case. Have we heard of this court case? I haven't. Cayuga County. But we'll look it up. We'll definitely look it up and see what you're talking about there. But Fallon, we appreciate that question. That's a good question. So Corey says, do what you're great at in order to do what you want to do. And Kamari is saying, look, do what you want to do and make money at it. I think it's kind of the same, but I understand the difference, Corey. Like if you're great at something and you don't like doing it,
do what your God-given talent and abilities are.
All right, God-given. All right, so
Okay.
your God-given talent and abilities, right? So that's very.
It don't
similar
have to
then.
be
I guess
God given.
means
It doesn't have to. You see, it doesn't have to be God given. You can see. You.
So-
I do. I want to. It doesn't have to be God given, right? Because I know.
I would debate with you that you can't get great unless it's God-given. Now, I have a feeling, Corey, we don't have the same view of God, and I'm cool with that, right?
See, that's
so I recognize that, and I respect that, right? And I respect that, but I would say that's I don't know what you believe in, right? So the source, the universe, whatever you want to call it, I'm talking about greatness, just like you are.
We're talking
Okay.
about the same thing.
All right,
Oh,
all right, man. Interesting debate though. I like this debate because a lot of times you find this with people who are, chasing their dreams their entire life, right? So Tara Nicole wants to chime in that it's an interesting topic, right? You can get great if you put in the work.
exactly.
And
That's the point I
Kamar,
was about to make.
you're saying that you can't necessarily get great. You can become extremely good. You're saying in order to get to that
No.
level of great.
Okay, so I
would
think
you agree with Tara then?
Yes, I definitely agree with Tara. But let me put this in perspective, right? And I think Will Smith said it best. There's a difference between talent and skill, right? We're born with skill, but talent is a whole other thing. In order to become great, you gotta have. Excuse me, I got it wrong. We're born with talent, but talent means nothing without skill, and you have to continuously beat on your skill. And so you might not recognize that you're great at something right away, but after you start beating on it, then you'll discover different things. You'll discover a passion, you'll discover a love, and then you can become great at it. So I'm not talking about this mythical, pie in the sky ray of light just comes down and touches you on your third eye on your forehead. And says, "Man, great." No, you got to get in the court, you got to get in the gym and shoot those 1,000 baskets. But at the same time, you got to have enough faith in yourself to say, I can be great. So you know what, Corey? I'll say you're right for this one.
All right, well, how about this though? Here's another point to all that. Doesn't matter if you're good at something if it's not in demand or it's not scalable. Right?
I disagree with scalable. I disagree with scalable. You can be great at something and it not be scalable.
Right.
Michael Jordan was good at shooting baskets. Shooting baskets is not scalable. You just shoot them. So you could be great at something that's not scalable. So that. But
I think he's talking about in the business, in the context of business. So the question started from opportunities to start a business, and that's what he's talking about in terms. This is specific to starting a business, not necessarily just whatever talent you have. If you're great at playing Call of Duty, we're talking about with respect to business. So if you have a talent, but that talent isn't scalable as a business, does that matter? And I guess that's the bigger question. So, Kamari, what's your thoughts on this?
But there's a lot. So I'm not really big on scalable, right? I think we throw that word around way too much. I think we need to figure out what, again, we can really dominate, what we're really great at. Because just like Corey just said, Michael Jordan just shot basketballs. Him in itself was not scalable. What happened was he built a brand that was so powerful, he was able to sell sneakers, which were then scalable. But they're two different things. They're two different things. So you can build a brand as an artist, right?
He partnered with a corporation that was scalable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he helped to make it scalable.
Yeah, he helped them to become scalable.
It's so funny. Right. But you know what is funny? I watched Craig Hodges the other day. For y'all that don't know Craig Hodges, he was the former Bull that partnered with Mike Jordan. I mean, that was on the Bulls with Michael Jordan. And he said he told Michael Jordan not to partner with Nike. Right. And he said he could do it on his own. Now, I will probably argue against that point. I don't know if Michael Jordan had the skill, the time, or the wherewithal to even do all the research and get all the moving parts together to build it himself, to build that team. Like, it takes time to build a team. And so then he wouldn't partner with Nike. So that
was bad advice. That was just bad advice. You just say it.
So can I take this question from Fallon?
Sure.
I know he was waiting for it. Before you get to that, I want to definitely bring that question up. Hold on one second. I'll bring it up. But I want to ask you guys a question because that's interesting, Kamari. And that's a topic that we need to discuss within our community, right? Is the idea of partnership. I was having a conversation with a brother before we came on here. Shout to Doe Dudes. And he was talking about how he called it. What's the word he used? He said it's the Dame Dashization of our culture, right? What he was talking about is him trying to help someone, and the idea that people are all caught up in this idea of being the boss or having their own and making bad business decisions because of that. So an example of that will be what you said. When he has $1 billion corporation willing to partner with him that's already scaled and put him in position to be a billionaire now versus having everything, his own. And a lot of times we fall on the side of it has to be completely 100% owned by us. So I think that's an interesting conversation to have within our community. I think I kind of see where you fall based upon what you said about Nike and Jordan, Kamari. But Corey, do you get the point I'm making? You know what I
No,
mean?
I know exactly what you're saying, and I'm all for 100% black-owned businesses. But when you have a multi-billion-dollar company coming to you and saying, "All right, we're going to pay you to scale up on the other side," because his NBA contract was trash at the time, and so his whole thing was, "All right, let me go ahead and get this bread and then build a brand," and now he's able to help way more people because he got the money. So we had this conversation about black brands selling out to competitors. We had this, me and you specifically were talking about one of these companies sold out to Unilever, but the board remained the
Mm-hmm.
CEO and was able to drive the company. And he took that 50 M's and still held that board seat. So he was able to, to maneuver the company to do
Shake and
things for black folks. So I'm all for that.
Yep.
As long as you stay in place and you able to maneuver and take those resources and bring them back to the people that need them, I'm good. But if it's a mad grab and dash, I'm good for your family, but for the culture, it don't do anything. So
Okay,
it's
so
it's it's, it's not it's not. I'm not mad at you either way. I just want you to. I would rather you bring it back so the culture can get a piece than you hoard it somewhere in the corner where none of us get a chance to grow. Stand on it like a
so
dragon
it's about
on a pile of rubles. You know what I
it's
mean?
about
Like,
being strategic. So Kamari, what's your
yeah.
point on this? Because I'm pretty sure you've seen these debates within our community. What's your opinion on this about being 100% black owned versus making a strategic partnership? I'll call it.
Well, Jim, you kind of cheating, right? Because I actually had that conversation on the bottom of the page. Remember, they was going at
Mhm.
me, and I said,
Yeah,
"Would
yeah.
you
You
rather
talked about
own
owning. Yeah, you talked about owning 2%. I remember the percentage. Yeah, but yeah.
2% of $1 billion company versus owning a company worth $20 million?" I think it depends. Every situation is going to be different. But I'm with Jay-Z on this. We need to rape the industry for what they did to the cold crush. And so
Yeah.
with that, you gotta be strategic. Sometimes you can use the folks' money, sometimes you can't. And then the other thing you gotta think about too is that gonna make you compromise yourself? Like, so you gotta be
Man,
like one
that's a
thing I
great
think we
question right
don't
there.
talk enough about, like what we don't talk enough about is who you are. Like, do you really know who you are?
Yep.
And are you willing to compromise yourself for certain things? Like we talk about the glitz and glamour, and I totally feel that comment about the Dame Dashization because I love Dame Dash, but I think he gets it wrong on a lot of things. It's good for us to partner sometimes. It's good for us to fund ourselves a lot more than what we talk about. Sometimes it's good to get outside capital. So I'm agnostic on the point where
I
I'm
got you.
I'm
So it's
independent
about
on the
it to
point. It
me. It
really
sounds like
depends on the situation.
I think we all in agreement. It's about being strategic. But I think, man, you just brought up a great point, Kamari, about we have to figure out whether we can be, corrupted or I don't want to get into the debate about the Black Panther, but whether you can be co-opted. Or what's your ultimate objective,
But
right?
no,
Because even if you're taking outside money, but your objective is to better the community, then maybe that's the move to make if it helps you, you know, faster and even more so. All right, so we got a
right.
couple different comments here. I'm gonna get to the
So
comments you want
Corey
to
just
answer
cited,
first.
Corey just cited,
Sneakers are more scalable than
but
playing
Corey, but
ball.
why you look
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Corey just cited, to say the Shea Moisture example, right, with Unilever. The problem is, and I kind of talk about that. I talk about it a little bit, not enough, probably. Our folks, a lot of our folks, right, not everybody, and we're speaking generally, we don't have a cultural mindset oftentimes to do that. And many times when many of us get into positions like that, they're not thinking about coming back and doing what Jay said and raping the industry for the cold crush. So, I think we got a lot more cultural work to do since we're talking
Yeah.
about this on Juneteenth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's a
do.
that's a
And
great
Corey's
point. 'Cause That's
We need to
because
read more,
if you're
right?
doing it for
No,
yourself,
I
yeah,
said
if you're
that,
doing
and
it for
that's the point I
yourself,
was making. You need to read. That you need to know why you're
Right,
doing these things.
right.
Like if you don't know
mhm.
why you're doing them, then you just
And
gonna
it,
be out there willy nilly with your, See, I was gonna say something crazy, but you just need to be out there. You need to read.
But I think that even within the black wealth
you
space, right?
need
So there's
to
a lot of people
read.
in the space that we talk about, right? But no one really talks about that. Why you want to help people build wealth? Why you want to show them how to start businesses? It's just that, hey, we need to get this money, but this is not really about the money. It's about the culture, which is what Kamari said. We have a lot of culture work to do. Um,
Yeah,
if we're going to move this thing forward, it's not about just showing, hey, look, I made $1 gazillion. It's not about that. Don says MJ
right.
himself was a business. That is a fact.
He
Fallon
became a
has a question.
business.
Fallon has a question. I don't know Kamari wants to tackle, but it's an excellent question. And of
Yeah,
course, you can let
this is the
Kamari go first. But
Okay.
how can you build a brand if you're an introvert? So Kamari, what's your what would you give someone advice if they're an introvert and they want to build their brand? What kind of advice would you give them?
so for the record, I'm an introvert. Many people don't know that because a lot of times y'all see me on radio or doing videos and things like that. But it took me a while to get there. I don't like going out a lot of times, like around Philly. If you ask certain people, they say Kamari knows everybody, but Kamari never goes out because Kamari don't like going out. Like I'm not really a dude that likes big crowds, but I will talk about things that I'm passionate about. You couldn't get me, like I know Jimmy has the war report. You couldn't really get me on Jimmy's show to talk about anything because I wouldn't really have
The war
anything
room, by the way,
valuable.
that's what put it out there. It's the war room,
What?
not the war report.
You know what?
You know,
I'm
I
sorry.
know you
I'm
always,
sorry,
I know you
Jimmy.
always do that. It's okay. I know you always
I
do that. It's
do.
okay. It's okay.
And
I
it's
just want to
a
make sure I put
CNN
that
thing.
on the record. But go ahead though.
Yes,
You said you wouldn't be able to come on and talk about like
yeah. I
sports.
wouldn't be able to come on
Yeah.
and talk about straight up sports. We could talk about some of the angles of sports, maybe some of the political things around sports. But I used to be the guy that could talk about sports, new stats cold. But I can't do it. I'm not interested anymore. So I would say, Fallon, find things that you're super duper interested in, find things that you're very, very talented in, and then know this: we do live in an introverted world.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we live in an extroverted world, and many people want introverts to conform to that. And so you have to find different ways and be strategic about amplifying your message that you want to get out to the world and build your brand.
So
Okay, Corey, what would your advice be?
I actually asked this question to one of our guests on our show because she does something where because I talk a lot of trash, but I don't really go around a lot of people, and I guard my privacy. And the thing that she told me, which made sense to me, is just like let people know what you want them to know. And that was the like it just clicked for me, so people don't need to know what you don't want them to know. So if you're doing things and you're extroverted, like Kamar said, do something you're passionate about so that passion comes through. And the other thing is only tell people what you want them to know. Like only show them what you want them to see. You got control of the narrative until you don't. So that's the point. You know what I mean? You have control of the narrative until you don't.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a great point. And the
Now,
example that people always
now,
use to go ahead, Kamar.
no, Fallon, I was going to ask, what is your brand about and what are you looking to do? Because then maybe we can give, more specific
Yeah, let us know in the
answers and
comments. The
responses to
point
you.
I was going to make about what Corey said is the example I always use with that is like Gary Vee, right? So Gary Vee is known as this internet marketing guy. He's on every social media platform, but no one's ever seen his family, right? And the reason being is he keeps that to himself. He only puts out there what you want him to see. So it's possible to, and if you're passionate about something, that will, shine through. In terms of strategic partnerships, Bruin Feed says, look at Carol's daughter, great brand for the culture. They got bought by L'Oreal, still making stuff for black folks, but it's now scaled.
good,
Yeah, I've seen them.
good catch, Rob. Good catch.
Yeah.
But
So,
Carol also sold.
So Wayne Terry Jr. says that Jay-Z is an example of partnerships. He's gotten to $1 billion net worth by doing it. Strategic partnership. So sounds like people think that, something that should be done. Rob is chiming in again, Bruin Feed, that says that Bob Johnson made guap partnering with folks outside of the culture, then started a bank and owns an urban movie channel. Yeah, he put that money back to work in multiple ways.
Yeah,
when I was
he
looking the other day
he
at
put on for the culture.
he has multiple publicly traded companies too. I know
Yep.
Lodging and Trust is on the market. I think he has another one that's on the market too, or it may not be on the market. He had an entertainment company that was publicly traded. I'm not sure if that still is. But his REIT, his real estate investment trust is there.
The funny thing is, people still get Bob Johnson L for selling.
They do. And if I'm being 1,000% transparent, it does rub me the wrong way that Black Entertainment Television isn't owned by us. Like, I don't know, just the name.
Does.
It's just I get it on the business side why he did what he did, but it just
yeah, it's kind of goofy that we don't own something called Black Entertainment Television.
No, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah,
so a lot of great business.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not shooting no shots at Bob. I'm just, it's wrong. I don't like. It feels wrong.
Yeah. So a lot of what we talked about today the word that comes to mind is strategy, right? We talk about Juneteenth and how it's being treated. We talk about things we need to do moving forward in terms of working together, and even strategic partnerships, which all fall into the same line of all these companies, pandering to us. So what are some actionable items, some action steps that people watching this, or may watch this in the future? What are some actionable steps they can take right now? And I'll start with you, Camari. I'm gonna get your opinion on this right now. What are some actionable steps people could take to take advantage of the moment in time we're living in?
I mean, that really depends on what people we're talking to and about. But if we're just talking about in the Black community, I think
yes,
it's always a great time to pull money together. Right? It's always a great time to pull money together. Get 3 to 5 of your family members and y'all put up, I don't know, $25 a month. Just put it into a pot and just let it grow. Watch the money pile up, and then grow together. Be intentional about it. Educate yourselves, and then make some moves with that money. I mean, I think that's one of the best things you can do. I mean, people don't realize that the idea of an individual or rugged American individualism is a total lie. I think people need to recognize that. And all wealth starts with pooled wealth. Whether it's banking, whether it's insurance, whether it's hedge funds, whether it's mutual funds, no matter what it is, it starts with a pool. It starts with people coming together. It starts with people being a team, right? So this idea that you pull yourself up by the bootstraps, the total lie, right? Let's start with that. And then 2, recognize that people pull money together. Every ethnic group in this country that has power has some kind of pulling effect with money and with politics, period.
Oh, okay. Great point. Corey, what's your opinion?
If we're going to take advantage, I like what Kamara said about pooling the money. I think we need to get our paperwork straight, like Kamari was talking about earlier too. Like, become a minority-owned business, become a woman minority-owned business. Like, it's contracts and the ability to scale up, and it's money out there, and you have to have your paperwork straight to be able to tap into those resources and that money. A lot of those things that are set out for Black businesses can't get because we don't have the Black business designation. Even though your business only needs to be 51% owned by Black people to get those designations. So that paperwork piece is the piece that I would talk about. Learn what you need to get so that when that money is available, you can go get it.
Yeah. Man, great advice right there, right? Get your paperwork straight. Like, and Kamari brought up earlier, if you get it straight now, even if it's not for this very moment, you don't have to get ready. Man, great point right there. Great point by both of you guys. So I think that's like something we could take away from this. We got another comment here. What's it say here? Okay, he gives good advice. I like decorating spaces and also hope one day to open a family entertainment center, something like Disney, but on a smaller scale. Okay.
in New
Oh,
York.
that's
So
easy. So
So
Fallon, what I would
you said
say is,
it. Go ahead, Kamari.
I would I would be on IG, I would be on YouTube, I would be everywhere showing people how brilliant and how great your decorating skills are, doing before and after pictures of the space, and then how you transform it. Remember, right? And just give me a minute, Jimmy and Corey, because I don't really feel like we honored what introversion really is.
Mm-hmm.
Introversion, right? You get energy from being alone. Um, Extroverts typically get energy from being amongst people. And so a lot of times people can't get with it because a lot of us, again, have been trained to be extroverts. And it's not just a matter of just telling people what you want them to know. Many extroverts get paralyzed when interacting with people, especially in large groups. And so
You
they
mean many
kind of got to,
introverts get? You mean many introverts get paralyzed?
yes, did I say extrovert? Yes, I'm sorry. I meant to say
Yeah,
many
yeah, yeah.
introverts get paralyzed, like literally paralyzed when they meet with crowds. So, always honor that. Always know who you are, right? And then work to make the situation what you need it to be. But going back to what I was saying, I would, take before and after pictures of event spaces that you had before, when it was nothing, and then after when a party got set up. Show the parties that are there, show the activities are there. Get testimonials from people that have worked with you. Let them rave about you, right? I am very much a background player. Doing video for me was a struggle for a long, long time. But if you ever notice, I don't really brag on myself that much. I might talk trash and joke, but I don't really brag on myself that much. I let other people do the bragging for me. And so do good work, and that'll promote other people doing the bragging for you.
Yeah. All right. Great point.
That's all.
Perfect.
Great point.
Perfectly
Yeah.
stated.
Nothing. I have nothing. Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. But that is a great point. Before and after pictures. Social proof is kind of what he's talking about. That social proof is the before and after pictures,
Yes.
and also the testimonials. That's what you want to do. If you're trying to build that business out. So Bruin Fee says that he's definitely an introvert, but as an introvert, you have to learn or train yourself how to confront or deal with extroverts. Like judo, use their strengths against them. Yeah. So interesting. I understand what you're saying.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know why you would need to use strength against them. Like that part, I'm missing something. Like you just need to be able to fight against being paralyzed, like you were talking about. But like, why do you need to use somebody else's strengths against them in that specific sense?
So, all right, I'll give you an example, right? I'm a small fish, right? We're talking social media, right?
Yeah.
You guys are way bigger than me, right?
Don't do that.
I am on your platform, correct?
Yeah.
So am
Right
I
now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we're just talking, right? And I'm not trying to pimp anybody out. I think y'all know that. But if we just look from the outside in, I'm using y'all's strength to help me grow my platform. One can look at it like,
Okay. All right.
right?
If you want to say it like that.
Yeah, there's a value.
Although you the man,
exchange there, right?
you the man on YouTube though. You the man on YouTube. Let's not get it twisted. But that's either here nor there. I get your point though.
Listen, stop it. If we could take all y'all IG followers, y'all add up more than everything.
But no, but I get your point, Rob. I totally get what you're saying about that. And I think about
It's
like
about
public
leverage.
speaking. Yeah, I think
Okay.
about public speaking and how most people are afraid of that, right? And sometimes you just got if that's something that you have to do for whatever space you want to operate in, you do have to just like train. You have to literally train yourself. So I think that's a good point. Let's get into the investment side. We got about 10, 15 minutes left. Let's talk about some investments, right? So I noticed something else going on in the world recently. And I was talking to you guys in the private chat. I was laughing looking at the Urban One stock. And it was something crazy, like 800% or something ridiculous. I says, are they pandering to us on the market as well? So what do you guys think about what's going on with these? It's only a couple black-owned companies, but they're all like through the roof right now on the stock market.
So I was looking on. I saw on IG where there was this movement to buy certain stocks from. I saw on a lot of black pages, asking their white friends to buy these black stocks, and all of them did it. This is something I actually talk about a lot. If we could do that with these stocks, we could do that with any stock, and then we could say, look, we're gonna sell the stock at the highest price and make y'all stock price crash. This is a way to gain control. Like, this is a looking at this, and you want to talk about on Juneteenth, how do you gain some control? This is one of the ways to do it. Like, it's being shown to you right now. Like, you literally, they shot a stock's price up 800%. 800%. Regular
So
old
you think
regular
you think
ass
Kathy
people.
Hughes is cashing out?
If I'm Kathy Hughes,
She
I'm
cashing
cashing
out
out.
or no? Kumar,
I'm cashing out if I'm
because I mean
Kathy.
the fundamentals of the business didn't change. Their balance sheet didn't change. So what do you think about what happened this past week with some of these black-owned companies on the market, Kamari? I mean, you're the finance rebel. What do you think about what Corey said? Also, like, this is showing that you can utilize this power of collaboration. What do you think about that?
I disagree with Corey. I think this is a isolated event. Most of these companies were already penny stocks. They had low volume, and so we're able to spike and kind of almost like a pump and dump type of situation because these institutions had low volume. I was trying to pull up the daily volume for Urban One because it didn't just happen to Urban One. It happened to Urban One and also Carver, which is a bank.
Carver Bank, yeah.
Yeah.
Carver Bank, that one jumped crazy too. So it's a typical a penny stock pump and dump. That's why I hate penny stocks, because they are so easily manipulated. However, to Corey's point though, right? If we're giving direction because we are the cool, we set the standards, we can tell folks, listen, black banks combined only have about $5 billion in them. Go open a bank account at a black bank and put $1,000 in there, right? Go spend $1,000 with a black-owned company, because that will give us more leverage than buying the stock, because a lot of people don't understand how the stock market works. You got the primary market or the IPO market, and then you got the secondary market, right?
Yeah.
The owners and everybody else made their money in that primary, typically, right? We're speaking generally.
At the
they
IPO.
made their money on, right? Mm-hmm. Now you got some other, options, stock options for employees and for CEOs, but most of the time that money's already been made. This money now is going to institutions and everyone else, so it's not really helping the black-owned company. So, well, you know what? I take that back. There is threat of a hostile takeover on a bank in L.A., black-owned bank, supposedly by this unscrupulous dude out there. Increasing the stock price can help from hostile takeovers, but again, we talking 201, 301 investment stuff at this point. But just at the basic level,
I got you.
The volume, the price, yeah.
And just to my
point, doing your homework, Tara.
She says she watches you while doing her homework, man. You the man on YouTube. I keep telling you that, man. Here's a comment from Jose. It's funny. Jose, he said, I was a bit concerned when I saw people saying buy Carver Bank because their metrics are trash.
Yeah, but to your point, nothing changed about those metrics, and people was just buying. It's like when people was buying Hertz last week, and they was telling them we going bankrupt and we ain't gonna have no money in 2 weeks, and people was buying that stock, and the price was shooting up out the roof. The casual buyers start buying. It keeps happening
in the market. Yeah, I've been investing for a long time, a couple decades at this point, and some of the things I've seen in 2020 are just amazing to me. Like this whole Hertz thing has just been amazing to me. What I've seen, I saw a CEO come out and say, "Yo, the price of my company is too high,
and people buy
are
more.
Still buying." And I'm like, yeah, this is absolutely insane.
Oh wow, though. He said, "Listen, I don't really want y'all to shoot the price of my company up this high." And people was just like, "Nah, we gonna keep doing it anyway." Like, what the hell?
Yeah, man, and completely insane, man. So before we got here, Core, what kind of moves are you making in the market this week? You buy anything long term, buy and hold, any trades? What you got going on personally?
Long term, I buy the same 3. I got 4 companies in my portfolio long term. I don't know about a lot of people with 7,000 different whatever they got going on. I got 4 companies in my portfolio. So I buy those every week. As far as trading, I got flagged as a pattern day trader on 2 of my accounts this week. So I had to call the institutions where I got flagged and ask them to give me a pass because I'm going to do that shit I'm going to do it all over again next week. So
hashtag free Corey.
free me up. So yeah, I got flagged. It cost me a little miniature bag this morning too, because I couldn't buy some stocks yesterday at the close because they had flagged me. And so this morning, when the prices was inflated as hell, I was going to sell out of those positions, and I would have made a nice little quick bag, and I wasn't able to make my bag. So, yes, definitely free me.
Okay, no doubt. So Camari, are you still buying Ford? You still over there all in on Ford, or what you doing? And what kind of things you got personally going on?
So before I jump into that, Corey, watch out for those watch loss sales. But yeah, I'm still buying Ford. I'm about 90% out from my goal, 89% to be exact. So
okay,
I'm just picking my spot.
What the hell? What are you doing before? What's going on before? Why are you all in on Ford?
We can have this debate because listen, I had the same not really a conversation. I told Kamar, I says I'm hoping it works out for him. I'm not bullish on Ford the way he is. That's his analysis. We could talk about this offline. We got a question.
We can talk about it. I don't mind. Like, it's funny. I kind of talked about y'all. I was telling people, I don't know if Tara was on there, but I was like, yo, they told me Ford was trash, right? And I kind of joked around with it. Here's the thing: everybody's going to have different analysis, right? But guess what Ford has? Electric vehicles. Guess what the bull told everybody his stock is too expensive? Electric vehicles. Now we got Nikolai on the market.
He also has raving fans. He has raving fans.
He got lunatic fans. Ford don't got those kind of lunatic fans.
He has let me ask you a question though.
Hold on. Let me say this. Ford has crazy infrastructure though, and they have way more infrastructure than.
And they have cash on hand too. They have a bunch of cash.
I mean, listen. I'm to be honest, I own a gang of Ford stock, but I only run cover calls. No, I run cover calls on them. I just run cover calls on them. I just not in my long-term portfolio. They are not part of my 4 companies I own for my long-term portfolio.
Speaking of that, though, we got a question. We got a question from Callie and Corey. She wants to know if you don't mind. Now, if you don't want to put it out there, that's cool. If you do, you can. What are your 4 companies that you're bullish on long-term?
Coca-Cola, AT&T,
I like
Coca-Cola, AT&T. Yeah. Oh, Realty and Realty Income, and then I have the stock symbol O, and I have the VU.
Okay, S&P 500.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's it.
I mean, well, you get a lot of exposure with this VU by itself, right? So that's what it is. All right. So we got another comment. All right. So and Callie, thank you for the question and thank you for tuning in as always. We got a couple minutes left. I'm gonna pull this up by Jose. He says Ford and AI is gonna be a big bag for them. So so everybody's not down on your Ford.
Listen, if they go crazy, I'm going to win anyway because I'm running cover calls on them, and I got a gang of them Jones for cover calls, but they not there to feed my family long term. Like, but if they shoot out the roof, I'll make a shit ton of money on a company that I don't really care to hold.
You can't be coming at his pick. All right, so basically what I got going on is I have a small number of companies too. I'm less than 10 companies at this point. Some are similar to Corey. Coke, Disney, J&J are the 3 biggest holdings I have. But in terms of trading this week, I had an interesting week trading. I made 3 options trades, and all 3 were positive. Cashed out 30%, 11%, and 11%, all in the same company. And the crazy part about this is one of our students at Bada Hood University actually gave me the play.
Yeah.
right? And that was Coca-Cola, right? So Coca-Cola, for those that don't know, may have never listened to our content, is a company that I've held the longest. It's the first stock I ever bought back in '96, and I've never traded them. I've just been buying and buying and buying and buying and buying as my long-term hold. But this week I decided to start trying to trade them, and what I recognize is their movement. They don't drop too much, or they don't go up too much, but those little movements is a lot of money to be made there. You
Hell
know what I
yeah,
mean?
it
So
is.
that's why I was cashing out at 10%. Put it like this: you put 10,000 in and you get 10%. That's $1,000. Do that multiple times a week. That's a nice piece of change. So shout out to By the Hood University. And by the way, before we do get out of here, in honor of Juneteenth, if you go to By the Hood University, we're giving 50% off on all of our courses: our intro course, our analysis course, our combo course, and the options course. We're giving 60% off. Just make sure you use the coupon code Juneteenth, and also the book that Corey and I wrote, which is right here. It's called Own Your Time and Space. It's a classic book, award-winning book. We actually have the digital download on By the Hood University, and that's 50% off. So the book is 10, so you get it for $5 as a digital download right now at By the Hood University. So couple minutes left. We have a question. It says, do you gentlemen teach about stocks, Bitcoin, etc.? I would like to invest, but want to learn first. Bythehooduniversity.com. And like I said, now is a great time, because right now, between now and Monday, over the weekend, we're going to run this all weekend. And here's the website right here. It's bythehooduniversity.com. You get that discount. The discount code again is Juneteenth. Make sure to check it out. And also that also gets you access, right? It gets you access to our private groups. We have a private group full of people who are some people are novices, and some people are full-time traders for a living. So it gets you put into our private group, and we have also a private classroom that we share information. We even literally watch movies there. I just want to put this up there because I like the comments in reference to our book, Classic. Appreciate you, bro. And another comment about the book. It says that finished the book twice and immediately removed my children from school and will homeschool both of them. Sheesh,
Yep.
we got people making drastic moves. Salute, Jose.
Yo, listen, I've been homeschooling my kids for the last 4 years, so I know what Jose is talking about. I would not subject my kids to a system that I don't believe in.
Absolutely. So Own Your Time and Space is the book. And if you don't want the digital download, you can go to ownyourtimeandspace.com. Right now, that'll point you to the Amazon page, because it's available on Amazon as well. But gentlemen, man, I appreciate you, Camari, good brother. And
What
check
you
us
got
out
going
on
on,
Sunday.
Kamar?
We do a live on Sunday.
Oh, stop.
Before
What
I
you
do
got
that, I
going
want to
on,
talk about this,
Kamar?
though. On Sunday, he told us about his stock. I want to talk about Sunday real quick. On Sunday, all three of us, as well as our other partners, it's a total of 6 of us. We have a roundtable discussion called the Black Wealth Project, right? So the Black Wealth Project, we kind of have a conversation like this, but it's more of us, and we have specific topics we talk about. Make sure to follow the Black Wealth Project on YouTube as well as Facebook, because those are some great conversations and interesting conversations. And check us out live on Sunday, and you can tune in and also leave comments the same way you do with our live show every Friday. Camari, personally though, I'll make sure to put all of your information in the description. Anything else you want the people to know about you personally before we get out of here?
Hey man, I'm just out here trying to help the community increase their financial IQ. That's my mission. So if you want to check me out, I'm at the Financial Rebel on all platforms. You know what? I'm actually Camari Ellis on YouTube, and I'm the Financial Rebel on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. So check me out.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, bro, as always, man. I look forward to our conversation this Sunday. All 3 of us, as well as our other 3 partners, will be there this Sunday at the Black Wealth Project. I'll share it on our page as well. Tune in. That's at 7 p.m. on Sunday. We're going to have a great conversation then. But for everybody watching right now, listen, we appreciate you. Keep tuning in, support, share this, hit like, and make sure you tune in next Friday. We'll be live again next Friday. And check out our podcast on Wednesday. We got a podcast with Xavier Miller from Cali, who's doing amazing things. It drops this Wednesday. We appreciate y'all. Peace.